right, so welcome to Mr. Mark's guitar lesson today. Very basic tuning is the first thing we have to do. And Mr. Corey is our student, and he's going to tune. We're going to start off with naming all of the strings, okay? The typical guitar has 6 strings. You can see them right here. From the top, we have an E string. Then we have an A string below that. And we have a D string below that. Then we have a G, B, and back to another E string. This is a higher pitched E string. And the notes you're hearing, the sounds you're hearing, we call that the pitch. So this is a low pitch. And we're getting higher pitches all the way. So the first thing you have to do when you're learning how to play guitar is identify your 6 strings and then make sure they are the right pitch. And that's how you get started. So what we're going to do first off is tune them. And this guitar we have to match the pitches. So I also have it written down, and what I like to show people is the string letters. So you can take a screenshot, and then you can have this permanently so you can memorize it. You see, we have the E, A, D, G, B, and E. So if you can see all of them on my little chart here, that's what you'll be dealing with on every standard 6-string guitar. So we screenshot that, and we get our string names down. And once again, now we have to get the pitches or the actual notes to sound the same and to sound in tune. So these are your tuning keys on any typical guitar. They're up here at the top. And I guess I should address that too now. There are 3 different parts to a guitar. Up here at the tuning keys they're on what we call the head or the headstock of the guitar. So this is our headstock right here. And then this whole thing right here on any guitar is called the neck. So we got our neck. And then, of course, finally we have the body. So body, neck, and head. And on the head are tuning keys. So we're going to start again with that E string at the top. So it'd be the lower pitch E string. And it should sound like this. Okay? That is actually a note that matches an E note on any instrument. So a piano, a guitar E would sound like this. So you're going to turn that key till it matches. Put it down.
Play it again.
Let's go lower. So should go counterclockwise and go lower. Keep coming down, lower the pitch. Almost there. Keep going. There we go. Nice, nice. Let me hear it now. Don't pluck it too hard. So you want to just pluck it lightly with your finger right now. We'll get into that more. But if you go too hard, you won't hear the sound. So I think you're still plucking too hard. Let me hear it.
My bad.
Okay, so come up a little bit. Now it's too low. Come back up a little bit.
I cannot do it like soft.
You got it. No, ear training is not easy for everybody. It's tough to hear it, but this is what you have to do if you don't have a tuner right there. Now,
yeah.
We also download a tuner or something, but I think we're doing good. Let's go to the A string now. See where that A string is. It's the next one below it. Pluck that again. hear it? Come up a little bit. It's not too far. That's what we call flat. So if a note is too low or lower than it should be to match all the other guitars and instruments in the world, we call it flat. Now if it's then it's sharp. So let's see what this is. Higher. Good. That's good. Let me hear it again. Yeah, I think we're close. All right, let's go to the D. So that'd be the next one. Yeah, that's good, Corey. You got to move your finger to the next tuning key each time. So there you go. You're on the right one, third one. Up, up. Keep coming up. Sometimes the keys stick, you know, and you just got to turn them going. There we go. That sounds like it matches mine now, close enough. All right, now let's go G. Remembering the G.
On G, I'm going back. I'm going to the bottom of this one on this side.
Yeah, so depending on how they strung the guitar, it should be the G should be, no, it should be this third one on the bottom. So you should be using the furthest key away from you, tuning key away on the bottom for the G, and then it's going to come back on the B and the E coming back towards you. Right.
Okay, so G will be up here.
There you go. Let's see.
Okay. So I'm gotta go high.
Up a little more. Yeah, then we hit it. All right, so we just got two more. We hit that B.
Mm-hmm.
Second to the bottom. That's the B.
Yeah.
Well, it's really low for a B, so let's tune it up.
This B has got a different string on it than the other ones.
Well, here's be 3 woven strings, they call them, where you can texture, and then it should be 3 nylon strings, like fishing strings should be the bottom 3. But she might have it so it's 4 of the woven strings, and now you that's what it is. That's fine. It's still there. It's either 3 or it's either 4 and 3. I mean 4 and 2. So she sounds like she got the 4. You got the 4 woven and 2. So yeah, it's a different type. But go ahead, tune it up. It should come way up. Back down. Back up. Now we're making just motions right now. Back down. You went a little too far. Just... Now try that E, the last one. Wait. Come up.
Up or down?
Well, keep playing. Little up. The low E. They should sound the same. They're different pitches.
Well,
And now this top E way up here. Yeah, we want to compare the two E's right now to see how you did. This low
okay.
and the high E. Okay, bring that low E up just a tiny bit. Just turn it, make sure you go the right way. It's got to be pushing it away from you, I think.
So, okay, low E, I'm going up.
Just a tiny bit. Yeah, I think we got it.
Sorry.
All right. Okay, so now we get into how to hold it so that you don't get the hard plucks. If you got an electric guitar, you might use a pick or something, but with this kind of guitar, you can just use your thumb,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
And when you're using your thumb, you're going. Okay.
Down, and you kind of putting it like right. You don't want it on the tip. You want it kind of on the meatier part of your finger, but not too low either. You can't be like down here. You should be hitting right up in here somewhere.
Okay.
Kind of like, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You can see my whole guitar or what?
Yeah, I can see it.
Because I can add some light too, but
Oh, I can see you real good.
all right, good. So we got all the strings now plucking with our thumb in tune. So let's do it slowly and put your thumb kind of over the hole. Every wooden guitar has a hole. Electric guitars, they have, the pickups in there, the microphones basically. And you right there, either over the hole or over the pickups. So let's go slowly. We can hear if it's in tune. Try yours.
Ah, my bad.
Let me hear that A string, the second one from the top. All right, bring that one up just a tiny bit too, just a little bit. Nice. Okay, that should be it now. Try it one more time. E, A, D, G, B, E. Hey, that's golden, baby. We got you all in tune. And
awesome.
Didn't need a tuner. So now you, whoever else plays that guitar, it'll be in tune for them. And it's real.
Wow.
And it's real crucial, like when you go to set it down, like I was telling another student the other day, you remember when we were telling, like, don't set it so that these keys are going to hit something. You don't.
Okay.
You set it, I usually put it backwards and lean that against the wall or something like that. So that, so nothing touches those keys.
Right.
And then you'll be fine, It should kind of stay in tune, but it's good to tweak it, usually before you play. And there's a lot of things we can do with tuning. There's harmonics. And you can use those to tune. There's tuners you can buy. There's tuners online you can use. Your green and a red needle when if you're in tune or not. So there's a lot of things you can do with tuning. And generally, anytime before you play a guitar, you kind of check it and tweak the tuning. But if you're careful with it, it's kind of in tune now. It should stay close enough for us to practice and do lessons. All right? So the first way to get started now, we got a tuned guitar with the basics of playing it is to get our left hand, for most people, because they're right-handed, so they use the right hand here and the left hand here. Get your fingers on your left hand working, okay? And the way we do that is there's two ways of playing. You can either strum, like we were, all the strings at once, or you can pick, which would usually just be one or two strings at once. So right now we're just gonna focus on the picking, and we'll use our thumb with our right hand, and then the left hand, we're going to concentrate on our first 3 fingers, and we're going to put them on the neck of the guitar on these first 3 spaces on our E string, this top low pitch E string. So what we want to do, and these bars here are called frets. The space in between the bars are called frets. So basically we want to have our finger inside those bars, not on it, because that'll mute the sound out. Inside, and we'll start with our first finger inside that very first fret, and then we'll pick it.
So I'm
There you go. Now press inside the fret though, not on the bar. It looks like you're on the bar. Slide your finger down so it's inside those 2 bars there, or the 1 bar. Yeah, I think you're up on the 2nd fret. So we want to be on the 1st fret.
all right up here.
Yeah, we want to be there.
All the way up here. Okay.
That's 1. Yeah. Now, just so you know, when you're doing guitar, this is up, coming this way towards you, because the sounds go up. The notes get higher. So we call this going up the guitar, and we call this way going down the guitar. So up and down. So you want to go down to the lowest fret, number 1, fret number 1. Put your number 1 finger in there, and just slightly with the meaty part of your finger, just like we were talking about for this hand, it's going to be the same thing with this finger. It's got to be right there. You can almost see the line on my finger. Right on that part of the finger, and just press. Are you in the middle on the wood, or are you on the bar? You got to be in the middle. Oh, and use the flat. Make sure your finger's flat. It looks like you might be pressing with the side of your finger. A lot of people do first. They go like this. You have to press straight down on it. You're still kind of sideways. Turn your hand straight so all your other fingers are almost touching the string. Don't let them touch it, but like almost, they're almost touching so that your hand is this way. So your hand is kind of straight, not like this. So you
okay.
I'll turn your, yeah, there you go, that's better.
I'm still not getting that sound the way you're doing it.
Yeah, are you pressing down on, don't touch the bar.
Yeah. Well, I'm in between it, but I'm just pressing it. I mean, I'm not pressing down on it.
Yeah, press down so you can feel.
Okay, I'm pressing down, and then but I'm not. Now my sound is kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of. Usually when it's muted like that, that means you're not pressing hard enough because you're. See,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now let's move to the next fret. See, I got my middle finger pressing in the middle of the next fret. Are you still on the E string? Yeah, there you go. You on the 2nd? There you go, 2nd fret.
Oh, that's right. You did say I have to press it hard.
Some guitars, man, the strings are way up, like off the neck. Some guitars are soft. They call that the action. So like you have to set the action on a guitar. Once you get serious, you do stuff like that. You lower this bridge right here, this little white piece called the bridge. They have another bridge right here, and you lower them so that the strings are kind of nice and close to the neck. But a lot of guitars, when you get them, this space between the neck and the string is like way up here, and yours might be a little high up too, and it makes it hard to press the strings down. So when you just start out, you just got to go for it. Let's go down here to the same exercise. Let's try it on this high pitch E string, because that one might be easier to press. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna press our first finger on the 1st fret, but we're using the high pitch E string on the bottom. How's your back of that neck? Because you want to be pressing with your thumb in order to get leverage. See, that's how you squeeze the neck. squeeze that neck like this, so it might, see if you squeeze with the thumb there on the back of the wood like that, that's what gives you your pressure. There you go. Try that. Up top. Your thumb's way up top. Try pressing your thumb on the middle of the back part of the neck. There you go. That's a little better. Good. Now just move your middle finger up. Just add your middle finger. Keep your first finger where it is and just add your middle on the next fret. And press. Nope. Stay on that E string. Stay on that. You got to stay on the E string. Your middle finger's on the B.
Oh, okay. The same string. I'm sorry.
String. Press down really hard with your middle finger. Then
I see what you mean by pressing my thumb in the back and giving me more press power.
good, good. And then that third finger, same thing. Just get that third finger up there and press it. Press down as hard as you can. Squeeze with the thumb. That guitar might be a little hard to play, but you can do it. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's funny. It's like drumsticks. They say learning on a hard guitar, it's like learning on heavy drumsticks. When you finally get on a easy playing guitar, you're gonna be good to go. Just like when you know, you warm up with those marching sticks and you grab a lighter pair of sticks, you're ready to go.
Right.
All right, so that's for the first picking exercise. The idea would be, and we could just, in your case, just stay on this high pitch E string, is to, again, pick with our thumb and not have to look at the thumb over here, but look at these fingers here and start out with no fingers and just pluck that E string. One on the first fret, first finger, first fret. Press hard as you can. And add the middle. We're just going to go right up, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then finally, third finger.
I'm pressing. Am I pressing all of them at the same time?
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. At this point, you could just press the third, or you could press all three. Because as long as the third one's there, that's the note that's going to come out. You see?
Okay.
So I would play the highest finger. Like if I had my pinky, it would play the pinky. But what we want to do is just work on 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. You can get that going a little bit. Yeah, don't worry about the pinky right now. Start with 0. Start with nothing. 0, and then 1, 2, 3, and then repeat. 0.
Oh, 0, 1. Oh, 0, 1. Yeah, man, I gotta get this.
You got it. You're close. Just get that third one and then start repeating. And what happens is, just like with the drumsticks, you know, eventually the motor skills kind of kick in, and we want to be able to do all the strings. See, and that's the pick. And then yeah, it's happening. So you would take that, see, that would be, and then try and go to the B string, and then the G string, and then so on, and just get your fingers doing that, because like I said, the next is to do some chords, and they're all the chords we do are right here in these first 3 frets. Almost every chord is right here in these 3 frets, so you got to get your fingers used to being on them. and make sure that each one of them produces a sound. Otherwise, your chords.
Yeah.
So that's really the lesson for a good startup is to learn how to just pick and get a sound out of all the strings on the first 3 frets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man, it's my first guitar lesson ever.
I'm glad to give it to you,
man. I got respect for you guys, man. This is not easy.
I know, man. That's why I really stick mostly to drums. But when I'm, when I'm in the studio though, and I want a simple guitar part for something, that way I can do it. Like when I'm writing, because the truth is, you really can't write on drums. Like you can come up with beats, and that can inspire you. But let's say you really want to write a song, you kind of need guitar or piano.
Right.
Those are the fundamental songwriting instruments, are guitars and pianos. And if you don't have those, some people write on bass. There's some artists like Sheryl Crow used to just write on a bass guitar, which is just 4 of these 6 strings. It's exactly the same thing. It's just 4 instead of 6, and they're thicker. They're bigger strings. So you could even, some like Sheryl Crow writes on bass. I know Sting writes on bass a lot of times. And so they just pick out like one note from the bass to write with, and they sing over that. They create their lines and their riffs. But most people will write over full chords. And so they need to have a chordal instrument like a guitar or a piano. And most of those chords on the guitar are right here. Like just a flash forward as we get all these, your next step would be to be able to do them up and down, and then start playing these chords. And really what you learn, eventually you add the pinky, but the pinky is kind of hard. So I start off without the pinky for a lot of people. And a lot of guitar players hardly ever even use their pinky. So you strengthen the first 3, and then you add the pinky, because the way the guitar was invented, like a long time ago, it was so that you could just start with an open note like we're doing, and you would go up 1 note at a time with every finger. And then when you ran out of fingers, the next note, this one, would actually be on the next string. So you wouldn't have to go up here and move your hand. So the guitar is meant to, for all 4 of your fingers to play all the notes in order. So if you listen, it's like, and then instead of having to do this, I just go down here to the next string, the A string. See, it's the same note.
Oh, okay. So you really don't go all the way down here.
You don't have to. That's for soloing and stuff. But, like I tell everybody in music, there's only 7 notes. There's only 7 letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So once you're doing this, see, they're all going up and down. That's all the notes there are. The rest of them are just higher pitched versions. So yeah, when you want to get fancy or you're trying to play a high melody, you just repeat notes.
Yeah.
All the same notes that are down here too. They're just different pitches. See, we've already done it. So again, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just on and on and on. Now, it's not technically that simple because they have sharps and flats in there. But I'm telling you, the concept is just the notes will go up and you can switch to the very next string and get the very, without having to use any, without having to have, 5, 6, 7 fingers.
Right.
So that's,
I keep pressing other stuff. Yeah, I'm not I don't have the technique of pressing it hard, and yeah, I gotta get that.
getting it? See, I play the exact same notes if I start here. Because again, it's just the same notes up high as this. They all start over. So once you get that finger action happening here, you'll be able to move it all around the guitar, kind of wherever you want to do it. So
yeah.
please try to start with that very simple, you know, motor skills of the fingers on these first few frets, because that's gonna get you going and playing, you know, like I said, the chords, and eventually leads to you pretty much being able to play kind of anywhere once you just have.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, we pretty good. I think you got everything. You got it tuned, and you know, you got your string names, so you'll know those names of those notes.
Right.
And then you just have a simple finger exercise to get your motor skills going, and that would be my first lesson. I would tell you to practice that, and then we work on that. You know, after you do that, you know, every day for like, you know, you want to do that kind of thing every day if you're trying to get good. And
yeah.
it would kick in, you know, where you would be playing. I think your fingers would eventually just, it's muscle memory. They would start doing it. And then I would, from there, you know, on your next lesson, we would check in, see how.
Not this. It's this. Oh, man. Such a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I started on drums, and you know, that's still my main instrument. That's how I make my living. And guitars though, they have different kinds of necks. We're talking about the neck and the body and the head. So this is a rosewood neck, but you know, they have hickory and maple necks. So on my other guitars, I like to get that. I like to get hickory and maple necks because they feel like a drumstick. You know what I mean? To me, they feel. And you can get like electric guitars are smaller necks too. So again, this kind of thing becomes a little more like this on a smaller electric guitar, and you feel that wood that's more like a drumstick wood. And so that's how I grab it.
Yeah.
I felt the same thing. I was like, man, I need, the more it's like drumstick, you know, reflexes, the better I can play.
Yeah.
I'm already used to doing it. So those big guitars and like basses and stuff where your fingers are almost flat trying to play them, those are not play either.
Yeah.
On the stick, you know? Like there were those techniques, those guys will show you those speed techniques, you know, where you use each finger to bounce the, you know, and
yeah.
like that. I started learning.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good technique, you know, for building up your speed.
Your rolls, yeah.
Because you could be using multiple fingers as you go, you know? And I guess it's all relative. I really try to look at that. Piano too. I try to say all of this I do is just kind of, they're all helping each other, all instruments, you know?
You're right.
And that's why I ended up teaching more than just drums. I was originally teaching a lot of drums, but when I would teach young kids, a lot of times if they were taking the drums, or their mom was like, oh, their sister wants to learn guitar too, or the kid was like, oh, I also have a guitar. I just started showing beginners basic guitar stuff that I knew. And so it evolved out of drumming. And so, yeah, eventually I just developed a kind of a technique of what works on guitar as well.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know how long we've been going, because again,
we've been going since 4:15. So I think we've got it in, man.
Yeah, did we really go to 4:15?
Yeah, we've been going for a long time. It took a while to tune it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important.
This baby was a ghost.
Now it's usable. See, that's what I'm saying. And if we did want to start playing some chords, I don't know if she's got a chord book, but a lot of times you can open up a book and just shows you the dots. At least if it's in tune, when you try to play some chords, it'll sound nice. You know, a lot of people, they start on a book or they start on a video, and they see in the chords and they're putting their fingers there, and then they go to play and like, oh, it sounds horrible. They think it's because of what they're doing, but it's really because the guitar is out. That guitar is slightly out of tune, then you got a problem. And we don't have this with drums. You don't have it with
Right.
You don't have it even with piano. Most pianos are kind of in tune. The guitar is the one instrument that you really got to tune every time you play it, and certainly before you try to learn on it, or you will not you will not be able to get a pleasant sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as I learned today, I can tell the difference when you were like teaching me how to tune it. I was like, oh wow! And then you have to actually know the melodies of these tunes to even if you're tuning by ear, like you need to know what the A and the E and all that sounds like just off of default before you start playing. You know, even if you don't have the app. So, you know, it's easy if you're doing la da 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 da. Like that's the same thing as doing this. Wow.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna practice those hand movements that you taught me though. You know, the open and then 1, 2, 3, the 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do that because I just felt like I just suck.
It's frustrating. Look, that instrument is very frustrating at times, the guitars. I've had students switch to bass, again, because it's bigger and the strings are bigger, and they're like, oh, and I mean, kids grow up to be bass players because of that. Because initially the fingering on a guitar can be frustrating. I mean, the only other one is like violin, which I have no idea how to play. I get on that and it's even smaller, and you're trying to get your fingers on there and they don't even have frets. Like you just got to know exactly. Violin to me, it's just really impossible. So yeah, get your motor skills going and see if you have a little breakthrough, and that'll be good. And you know, it's good for melodies in your head, like you're writing, like you say, you're doing that all the time. And so I've always found sometimes when I'm just messing around, and they have all these exercises you can do where you skip a note. So it's like, you start here, I like that, you might just write a melody off of something you hear messing around on the guitar, you know?
Right.
Things kind of like, they inform you musically. And so that's why I think, you know, it's good to just, because just play melodies and kind of, and do these exercises. They might seem mundane, but they can definitely inspire you, like we were talking about before, to come up with stuff, come up with ideas. Even if it's not your instrument and you're not going to be great on it, at least you can be like, oh, I'm hearing.
I know what you're looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I'm not really a piano player, but I can get on a piano and produce something. You know, if I mess around with it, I can be like, oh, I like how that, okay, cool, let's go there. Boom, 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 boom. And then you got it, something, you know, but you're not like no Thelonious Monk or nothing, but you don't need to if you're just trying to play what's in your head, you know.
Exactly.
That's what I had to learn too about, like, you know, like kind of producing, like, you know, just find what you're trying to hear, you know, what you're hearing in your head, and just tap those keys. And see, the thing about this that's hard is there's a technique to the stringing. You're not just pressing the piano key. You press the piano key, it's gonna play how it needs to play. But this thing right here, Lord, whoo, it's another level, you know. Wow.
It's another beast. It's another animal. Instrument, you know. It's called the action though. Like even pianos have action, which is the weight and the distance of the string before it gets, you know, hit. And recently I even had my piano, it's funny you mentioned it, tuned up too by a professional tuner, because I don't, you know, that takes a lot of wrenches and things like that. And he adjusted also the action, which is very similar. Like my piano was harder to press than I wanted it to be, and he made it kind of looser. So you can kind of do it on piano, but the main thing is once that note's there and tuned, it's usually going to stay in tune. And like you said, you can hit that key and it's going to do what it needs to do. And especially on a keyboard. I mean, a keyboard is always just what it is. Right? You just hit it, you know?
Right.
But no, a real guitar is a very, you know, it's an analog instrument. Even an electric guitar, you plug it into an amp, but you still are really dealing with a very analog thing, a very personal thing. Just like with that drumstick, you know, you have to have control of it to get a sound, you know, to
Right.
get that sound. All right.
Right.
So I'm going to stop recording there, and then we can continue on.
Cool.